All right, so I had somebody ask me about hierarchies in your side menu. So right here is your list of slides. In this case, I have 14 slides. Now I happen to turn the slide numbering off for this particular demo, but I've got 14 slides in here. And the question is, what if I don't want the numbering, but I do want to have some way to manage the slides? So in this particular example, I've got 3 specific slides. So I'm going about the SMART goals, so the S is for specific. So I want to have slides that talk about specific. And then here I want to have a group of slides that talk about measurable. But if I had them just numbered, it would just say 1 through 14. And I don't want them numbered. I actually want to create my own kind of organization. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing we want to do is come into PowerPoint. So we're in PowerPoint right now. What we can do is go into the Slide Properties Manager. So we go to Articulate, Slide Properties Manager. And this opens up the Slide Properties Manager where we can see how we can structure our slides. Now in this case I already pre-structured those. So what we have is we've got our specific slide here. So 3 is a specific, 4 is specific, 5 is specific, and then 6, 7, and 8 are around measurable. So what I did here is I go to the first slide. We'll just assume this is our introduction. And then on the second slide and third slide, I want those to be a subordinate to that first one. So all I do is go into the level column here, and I select that I want those at level 2. And as you can see, then it's slightly indented. And the same thing is what I did over here. So you can choose a level. So if it was level 1, it would be up here. If I go to level 2, it's now indented, so it's subordinate to this first slide. So this would actually be like a group, and then these would all fall under that. So you could make this like an intro for that particular group, and then you'd have your subsequent slides. Now another way to do that is something like this. So what I did here was I just called it Group 2, and then because I called it Group 2, I came in here and first I went and changed the level. So I made those both sub of Group 2 of the first slide here. So I made these subordinate to that. And then what I did is I came in here and changed the title. So I can actually make whatever title I want to. So by default, Articulate Presenter is going to pull in the PowerPoint title. And if you don't want the PowerPoint title, you can make it any title you want. And that's why I turned the numbering off, because now I'm not having to use the numbers that PowerPoint or Presenter is going to give me. I can make these number any way I want to. And so the same thing here, I can just change the title to whatever I want it to be. So once you do that, you can publish it. So just a quick review again. So the first trick that we used was we just made the slides subordinate by changing the level. And then the next group that we'll look at is we actually took those slides and then we made them subordinate, but we also then changed the numbering structure. So this is Group 2, so I did 2-1, 2-2, and then you could do 2-3, 2-4, and so forth. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like when we publish it. And I actually have a published version right here. So when we look at that, we see here's that first group we created, here's that second group. So you can see I click on this and now I've got my subordinate slides, and I could actually have titled these a different way as well. And then over here I can click on this, and this is where kind of the numbering works well. So I've got Group 2.1, 2.2, and that looks a little better probably for certain types of training. So anyway, you've got 2 ways to do that. You can just change the level of the slides, or you can come in and modify the titles as well.